how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. I don't know if you guys, I just wanted to upload this because I've seen it. It could be on some other platforms, but I just thought I'd share it. It says, ex-PlayStation boss says Xbox Multiplatform plan can succeed like Sega. Microsoft Multiplatform news, PS5, Sega, Shawn Laysen, Sony. Ex-PlayStation boss says Xbox multi-platform plan can succeed like Sega. Now this is written by this guy right here, February 3rd, 2025. Shawn Laysen, former chairman of Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studios, has said he feels that Microsoft multi-format plan can succeed like Sega's previous efforts. Sega, of course, was the hardware manufacturer up until Dreamcast, which was discontinued in January 2021. Following this, Sega continued as a third-party video game developer and publisher, bringing the likes of Sonic the Hedgehog and Virtua Fighter to its former competitors' machine. Speaking with Kiwa Talks, Layden was asked what he thinks about Microsoft's strategy bringing its first-party titles to the rival formats. And then he goes on to, it's got a lot of stuff here. Multi-platform, this is what he says, multi-platform is a strategy, particularly in the world where the cost of development is increasing dramatically. It is. It says where the cost of development is increasing so dramatically, what does it do to the brand? It makes the conversation harder to create the FOMO, fear of missing out. You're trying to do that by bringing everyone to your platform by saying, if you're not here, you're missing out. But if it's available on all platforms, that's the one your marketing tactic that's the one of your marketing tactics you can use. When we've seen it before. I was in the business with Sega when Sega brought their Dreamcast title to the PS2. In time then, Sega became a software-only company and had a great transformation into the sense. Okay. It says Sega brought their Dreamcast titles to PS2. In time then, Sega became a software-only company and have had a great transformation in that sense. Layden continued. So it does have historical precedence. Microsoft is continuing to bring its titles to the PS5 this year. Indiana Jones, The Great Circle, and Forza Horizon 5 both coming to Sony console this year. There's also rumors that Halo, the Master Chief Collection, is coming to PS5, as well as titles including Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and Fable. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys. That's about all I got. I'm just scrolling through. There's nothing else. But yeah, I think I think Microsoft could do well doing that. Because I keep trying to tell people constantly again. I keep telling people, it's like, man, you don't have to, if you can't sell, their hardware is not selling, obviously. I think PlayStation 5 is selling, what? There's like a 5-to-1 ratio with the Xbox Series X, Xbox Series X, whatever. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that kills me when people get upset. They say, well, I might as well just buy a PlayStation 5. The only problem I have with that is I don't see how, I don't know, man. I remember when I used to, well, I still do. When I had my Xbox, Xbox One X, my Xbox Scorpio, which is the Xbox One. Anyway, it was called Project Scorpio. That was a powerful piece of hardware. I thought it was like a mini kind of like PC. It may not be, but it's it was called Project Scorpio. It was the one. It was the last one before they came out with this new one, Xbox Series X. But the thing is, I always was like, man, I always felt like I had best of all kinds of worlds. And what I mean when I say I thought I had the best of all kinds of worlds is by saying that I had a PlayStation 2. I have a Nintendo Switch, which Nintendo Switch has got stuff that's from other platforms that they play. I don't have them. I just got Nintendo Switch just for their games. But when I got my PS4 was for Sony's exclusives. And then when the third-party games come out, I remember I tell somebody at work that, somebody might ask me, especially my friend I used to hang out with. I don't see him that much anymore, but he's like, you gonna get that game? I said, yeah, man, it's a third-party game, man. I said, I'm gonna get it for my Xbox. And so that's the point that I'm making. When I went and visit one, I got 5 kids altogether. But when I went and visited one of my boys was like, "Yeah, Dad," he goes, "I got the PlayStation for my exclusives, and I got my Xbox for my third party games." And so when people say, "Oh, I might as well just buy a PlayStation 5 if they're gonna port everything over to the PlayStation 5," I'm just like, you don't have to do that. You're just saying that you're mad because there's no exclusives. I don't know if that's it or not. Or saying, well, I'm mad because there's no exclusives for the Xbox Series X. So what's the point of owning one? Well, to me, the point of owning one is Microsoft is still making that hardware. Microsoft is just making games now for that hardware, and they're making it for other hardwares, not only the PC. Now, like I said before, Sony is putting their games on PC because they know that's another way of making money. To me, it's all about making money, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't get off on all these places being shut down and developers losing their job and blah 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 and all that to trying to cut costs. But here's the thing: at the end of the day, it's about you gotta make that money. And if there's money lying around and you're just letting it sit there and you have a chance to make it, then why not? So that's the best that I could put it. Everybody's going to be on the Switch 2 hype train. I'm not getting a Switch 2 because I don't need a Switch 2. I barely play my Switch. So why would I get a Switch 2 if I barely play my Switch? Now, you're saying, obviously, man, please, come on, you guys. Obviously, you know that the Switch 2 is going to be much more powerful than the Steam Deck. But that's not going to make me want to get rid of my Steam Deck and trade it in just so I can get a Switch 2. It's just, I just don't do stuff like that. I'm just like, when I play games on my Steam deck, my games run well. I don't buy a bunch of games and just buy them just to have them stored and hope they play. Most games on Steam, your Steam Deck has been verified, but sometimes even when they say they've been verified, a lot of times they still don't run that good. But that's not to mention that, even Valve, the one that makes Steam Deck, they're constantly doing, updates and all kinds of stuff to keep that thing, to make games run better. So, Nintendo Switch 2, I think it's going to be a little bigger, and they still haven't said anything about an OLED screen, and I'm just trying to figure out how much they're going to ask for that thing. But back to somebody here, this is where I could put it. How can you not be satisfied with having all these systems, knowing that you got so much access to so many different games? No, don't get me wrong. I haven't bought any games, but I could buy some games, but I'm not going to buy that many games. I said I was going to buy a couple. I am going to buy a couple this year, but not that much. But what I am going to do is if I get Indiana Jones, I'm getting it for my Xbox. I don't need to get it for the PS5 at all, you know. And I already got all the Gears of War, so I could just play it on my Xbox. So it's not, I'm not that type of a gamer, and I've never have been to like, oh, I'm gonna throw my box away. I'm just gonna throw it. Might as well just get a PS5. I don't do that because Sony still. I have a guy. He's a diehard PS. He's a diehard Sony guy, and he's all about the PS2 and the PS3 and the PS4. And my friend, he's a good friend of mine. He said that he wouldn't mind seeing Sony taking some of their stuff and porting it over to the Microsoft's platform. But Sony right now is only doing, their hardware and PC. So at the end of the day, all these companies got to make this money back somehow. So and this is what I want to say. If my hardware is not selling, and I mean, I claim it's the most powerful. It's supposed to be powerful. The Xbox Series X is supposed to be powerful than PS5. I like them both. But if it's that powerful, then why would I want to get rid of my Xbox Series X when I could just when Microsoft is putting out games where everybody can play? I don't know, man. It's just kind of pointless. Now, I will say that there might be a time where I'll be like, you know what? I might get this game for my PS5. Because here's what I do. And since Microsoft is going this route, let's just say hypothetically, I don't buy that many games. I do buy games, but not like I just never have bought. The games I got them over a period of time. But here's the thing. I could be like, man, I'm going to get that game, especially if it's a game that's real good. And I'll be like, oh, man, I bought 2 games for my Xbox Series X. I think I'm going to get that game for my PlayStation 5. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, I think it's a win situation for everybody. And if I was a company and my hardware is not selling, and I mean, it's just not selling, and my games are kind of mediocre, and then I know I got some games on the horizon that's going to be coming out here in the next 5 to 6 years, then why not just say, you know what, we know we got good hardware. We just need to go a different route. And let's just be a third party, so that the multi-format plan can succeed like Sega previous efforts. So, I don't know, man. I see this as a win. We'll just have to see in time. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just thought I'd throw that video up. So anyway, God bless, and have a great evening. And I'm gonna pump me some iron here pretty soon, and we'll catch you next video. We'll see you.